Welcome to Clusters. We're studying this week the book of 1 Samuel, and particularly 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 1 to chapter 2 verse 11. 1 Samuel is set in the Old Testament, the first part of the Bible, about 1,000 years before Jesus came. The name Samuel comes from the prophet that we'll read about in the book, and the book tells us about the beginning of the kings of Israel. These are challenging times for God's people, and they're called to be faithful and patient as we are. We'll read in the book about 4 leaders. There's Eli the priest, Samuel the prophet, and the kings Saul and David. Sadly, each king will fall short, and yet we'll read about God's patience and how he is the ultimate rescuer. The book begins before David or Saul with the account of how Samuel came, and we'll start there. And so this week, as you study, start by praying and ask for God's help. Then read the passage, 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 1 to chapter 2 verse 11. And then here are 5 questions to think about. Just ask the big question, what struck you in the passage? Then ask, what did it teach you about God? And what does it teach about people? Fourth, ask, what's the main idea? If you boil it down, what's it really getting at? And lastly, ask the so what question. What difference will it make to your life? And then once you've got that, do pray about that together. I hope you have a really good study and a great time in Clusters.